I wake up in a white room with no windows. The walls are smooth, almost glowing under fluorescent lights. My head throbs as I sit up on the narrow bed. Where am I? The last thing I remember is walking home from the library, then a sharp sting in my neck. I'm wearing a grey jumpsuit with a number stitched on the chest, 247. My hands shake as I touch the fabric. This isn't mine. My phone, wallet, everything, gone. I stand up, legs wobbly, and walk to the metal door. There's no handle, just a small window at eye level. Through it, I see a long hallway with identical doors. Other rooms. Other people. My heart races. I bang on the door, screaming for help, but nobody comes. The silence is suffocating. A speaker crackles above me. A calm voice says, "Subject 247, please remain calm. Orientation begins in 1 hour." Subject? I'm not a subject. I'm Emily Carter, 23 years old, a college student. This has to be a mistake. I sink back onto the bed, trying to steady my breathing. 1 hour. I need to figure out what's happening before then. Growing up, I was always the curious one. Mom used to joke that I asked too many questions. Dad encouraged it, though. He was a journalist who taught me to dig deeper, to never accept things at face value. My childhood was normal: school, friends, weekend trips to the park. I loved puzzles and mystery novels. I'd stay up late reading about unsolved cases, imagining myself as a detective. Dad would find me with a flashlight under my blanket at midnight, lost in another thriller. When I turned 18, Dad died in a car accident. The police said it was simple: he lost control on a rainy road. But something felt wrong. His notes from his last investigation vanished. Mom told me to let it go, that grief was making me paranoid. I couldn't. I started digging into his work, trying to find what he'd been researching. That's when things got strange. I'd notice cars following me. My laptop was hacked twice. Someone was watching. Now, sitting in this locked room, I wonder if Dad's death wasn't an accident. Maybe he uncovered something dangerous. Maybe I did too, without realizing it. And maybe that's why I'm here. The door slides open with a hiss. 2 figures in white lab coats stand outside. They wear masks, showing only their eyes. One gestures for me to follow. I hesitate, but what choice do I have? We walk down the sterile hallway. I count 12 doors on each side. That's 24 rooms. 24 people trapped here? The guards, or scientists, I can't tell, say nothing. Their shoes squeak against the polished floor. We enter a large room filled with chairs arranged in rows. About 30 people sit there, all wearing the same grey jumpsuits with numbers. Their faces show fear, confusion, anger. Some cry quietly. Others stare blankly at the front of the room. I'm directed to an empty seat. The person next to me, a young man labeled 198, whispers, "Where are we?" I shake my head. I don't know either. A woman in a crisp white coat walks to the front. She's older, maybe 50, with sharp eyes behind glasses. She smiles, but it doesn't reach those eyes. "Welcome," she says. "You've been selected for a groundbreaking study. Your participation will change the world." My stomach drops. Selected? Nobody selected me. I was taken. The woman introduces herself as Dr. Halstead. She explains we're part of a research facility focused on human potential. We'll undergo tests, physical, mental, emotional. She promises we're safe, that everything is ethical and approved. I don't believe her. Nothing about this feels ethical. Nobody here volunteered. I scan the room for exits. There are 2 doors, the one we entered through and another behind Dr. Halstead. Both are guarded. Dr. Halstead continues, "You'll receive 3 meals daily, scheduled recreation, and comfortable sleeping quarters. Cooperate, and your stay will be pleasant." Her smile widens. Resist, and consequences will follow. A woman in the front row stands up, shouting, "You can't keep us here. This is kidnapping." 2 guards rush forward, grabbing her arms. She screams as they drag her away. The door slams shut behind them. The room falls silent. Dr. Halstead adjusts her glasses. As I said, cooperation is key. You'll begin testing tomorrow morning. Return to your rooms. We're herded back into the hallway. My mind races. I need information. I need to understand what they want from us. And I need to find a way out before whatever they're planning begins. Back in my room, I examine every inch. The walls are solid, no vents or hidden panels. The bed is bolted to the floor. There's a small toilet and sink in the corner, but no mirrors. They don't want us seeing ourselves. Maybe. A slot in the door opens. A tray slides through, a sandwich, an apple, a bottle of water. My stomach growls. I haven't eaten since before I was taken. But can I trust this food? What if it's drugged? I take a small bite of the sandwich. It tastes normal. I decide to eat half, saving the rest in case I need energy later. The water stays sealed until I'm desperately thirsty. Hours pass. The lights never dim. There's no sense of time here. I try to stay awake, to stay alert, but exhaustion creeps in. My eyelids grow heavy. Just as I'm drifting off, I hear a soft tapping. It's coming from the wall. I press my ear against it. Tap tap tap. Pause. Tap tap. Someone's trying to communicate. I tap back. Tap tap tap. A response comes immediately. Someone's in the next room, and they're trying to reach me. My heart pounds. Maybe I'm not as alone as I thought. The next morning, at least I think it's morning, the door opens. Guards escort me to a testing room. It's filled with strange equipment, computers, wires, a chair with straps. My pulse quickens. A young technician, barely older than me, instructs me to sit. He attaches sensors to my temples and wrists. Just relax, he says, but his voice wavers. He's nervous too. Images flash on a screen in front of me. Random pictures, faces, landscapes, objects. Some make me feel calm. Others trigger anxiety. I realize they're measuring my reactions, mapping my emotional responses. After an hour, the test ends. The technician removes the sensors without meeting my eyes. I'm taken to another room for a physical exam. They draw blood, check my reflexes, scan my body. Everything is documented on tablets. During a brief moment when the guards aren't looking, I whisper to the technician, "Why are we here?" He glances at me, fear in his eyes, and shakes his head. "I can't," he mouths silently, but as I'm led out, he slips a tiny piece of paper into my hand. I palm it quickly, heart racing. Back in my room, I unfold it. 3 words in shaky handwriting: trust no one. Days blur together. We're tested daily: physical endurance, problem solving, memory games. Some tests are easy. Others push us to our limits. I watch people break down, crying or refusing to continue. Those who resist disappear, we never see them again. I learn to cooperate just enough to avoid attention. I answer questions, complete tasks, but I stay alert. I'm watching patterns, noting schedules. The guards change shifts every 8 hours. Dr. Halstead visits twice daily. During recreation, 30 minutes in a small gym, I meet others. There's Marcus, a construction worker who was grabbed on his way to work. Leela, a teacher taken from her classroom after students left. David, a store clerk who vanished during his night shift. None of us know why we are here. We share theories in hushed voices. Government experiments. Corporate testing. Human trafficking. Every idea sounds too horrible to believe. The tapping from the wall continues each night. I've learned a basic code: 1 tap for yes, 2 for no. Through patience, I learn my neighbor's name, Jenna. She's been here longer than me, maybe 2 weeks. She knows things. Through taps, she tells me people have died here. Not many, but some. Tests gone wrong, she signals. I feel sick. We need to escape before that happens to us. On my 10th day, something changes. During testing, I overhear two technicians arguing in the hallway. The results are wrong, one says. Dr. Halstead won't accept this. The other responds, then we adjust them. We have to. They're falsifying data. Whatever they're looking for, they're not finding it. They're desperate enough to lie. That night, the tapping comes urgently. Jenna signals danger. I press my ear to the wall, and I hear her faint whisper through a crack I never noticed before. They're selecting subjects for Phase 2. Survive Phase 1, or... She doesn't finish, my blood runs cold. Phase 2. What does that mean? I tap back, how do I survive? Her response chills me. Run before morning, I barely sleep. Her words echo in my mind. Run. But how? Where? We're locked in, guarded, monitored constantly. Running seems impossible. Just before the lights would normally brighten, if there was a day-night cycle, I hear something. Footsteps. Voices. They're coming down the hall, stopping at doors. I hear crying, pleading. Then silence. My door stays closed. For now, I'm safe. But Jenna's room is quiet. Too quiet. I tap on the wall. No response. I tap again. Nothing. My neighbor is gone. And I'm terrified I'm next. Morning tests are cancelled. Instead, we're assembled in the main room again. Dr. Halstead stands at the front, looking pleased. Congratulations to those selected for Phase 2. Your progress has been remarkable. She reads off numbers. 198. 203. 176. Each person called looks terrified. When she finishes, she says, the rest of you will continue Phase 1 assessments. Relief and guilt wash over me. Those selected are led away. Marcus, the construction worker I talked to, is among them. He looks back at me, eyes wide with fear. I want to do something, say something. But I'm frozen. We return to our rooms. I sit on my bed, mind racing. Jenna told me to run before morning. She must have known they were selecting people. She warned me just in time. But she's gone now. Was she selected? Or did something worse happen? I tap on the wall, hoping for any response. Nothing. My only ally is gone. That evening, a different guard delivers my food. He's younger, less rigid than the others. As he slides the tray through, he whispers, "Check under the plate." Then he's gone. My hands tremble as I lift the plate. Underneath is a small keycard and a note, "Midnight. Turn left. Third door." Jenna. She's alive. And she's planning something. I spend hours staring at that keycard. It's plain white with a magnetic strip. No identifying marks. Could be for any door in this place. But Jenna said third door on the left. From where? I memorize her instructions, then hide the card in the waistband of my jumpsuit. If guards search my room, I'm done for. But I have to risk it. The minutes crawl by. I have no watch, no clock. I count seconds in my head, trying to estimate when midnight arrives. My calculations could be completely wrong. Finally, I decide it's time. I press my ear to the door. The hallway sounds quiet. I insert the card into the slot beside the door. Please work, I think. Please, a soft click. The door unlocks. I ease it open, heart hammering. The hallway is dimly lit, emergency lights glowing. No guards in sight. This is my chance. I slip out, moving quickly but quietly. Turn left. I count doors. 1, 2, 3. This is it. I swipe the card again. Another click. Inside, Jenna waits. She's thin, pale, with dark circles under her eyes. But she's alive. You came, she breathes. We don't have much time. Jenna moves fast, pulling me deeper into the room. It's not a sleeping quarters, it's some kind of storage area filled with equipment. I've been planning this for weeks, she explains. Tonight, the night shift is minimal, only 3 guards for the entire floor. She hands me a map she's drawn on paper scraps. The layout of the facility, marked with guard stations and camera locations. How did you get this? I ask. I used to work here, she admits. Before I knew what they were really doing. When I tried to quit, they made me a subject instead. Her voice shakes with anger. I study the map. There's a service exit on the ground floor. We're currently on sub-level 2. That means climbing stairs without being seen. The odds feel impossible. Jenna pulls out 2 more jumpsuits, these white like the technicians wear. Disguises. If we move confidently, we might blend in. It's not much of a plan, but it's all we have. We change quickly. Jenna checks the hallway, clear. We step out, walking with purpose like we belong. My legs feel like jelly, but I force them steady. We pass a guard station. The guard barely glances up from his phone. We keep walking. 1 floor up. Then another. We're close to ground level now. The stairwell door ahead leads to the main floor. Jenna hesitates. There's a security checkpoint, she whispers. We'll need to be smart. She hands me a tablet she grabbed from the storage room. Look busy. Like we're transferring data, we push through the door. The main floor is different, less sterile, more like a regular office building. There are people here, even at night. Researchers working late. Janitors cleaning. We blend into the background. The checkpoint ahead has 1 guard. He's checking IDs as people pass through. We don't have IDs. Jenna grabs my arm. Follow my lead. We approach, and Jenna starts arguing with me loudly. I told you to save the files before midnight. Dr. Halstead will be furious. I play along, stammering apologies. The guard looks annoyed by our noise. Jenna turns to him. Can you believe this? New tech support can't follow simple instructions. The guard rolls his eyes, waving us through just to stop the commotion. We're past him, my heart's in my throat. We're so close. The exit is visible, glass doors leading to darkness outside. Freedom is 50 feet away. Then an alarm blares. Red lights flash. A voice over the intercom, lockdown initiated. All personnel remain in place. We've been discovered. Jenna grabs my hand. Run. We sprint toward the exit. Behind us, shouts erupt. Guards pour into the hallway. The glass doors are locking, metal shutters descending. We're not going to make it. 10 feet. 5 feet. Jenna dives, sliding under the descending shutter. I'm right behind her. Metal scrapes my back as I roll through. We're outside, cold night air hits my face. We're in a parking lot surrounded by forest. Jenna pulls me toward the trees. They'll send dogs. We need water to lose our scent. We run into the darkness, branches whipping our faces. Behind us, flashlights sweep the parking lot. Voices call out. We push deeper into the woods. My lungs burn. I've never run this hard. But fear drives me forward. We can't stop. Can't slow down. If they catch us, we're dead. Or worse, back in that facility. After what feels like hours, Jenna stops. A stream cuts through the forest. Walk in the water. Downstream. We wade in. The cold bites through our thin shoes, numbing our feet. We follow the stream for what must be a mile. Finally, Jenna climbs out onto the opposite bank. We collapse, gasping for air. For the moment, we're safe. But this is just the beginning. We walk through the night, staying off roads. Jenna explains what she knows. The facility is called Genesis Labs, supposedly a private research company. But it's funded by multiple government agencies. They're studying human enhancement, pushing bodies and minds past normal limits. Phase 2 subjects are given experimental drugs, Jenna says. Enhancing strength, speed, intelligence. But the drugs have side effects. Violent side effects. People die, or worse, lose their minds. I feel sick. Marcus. All those people selected. What's happening to them now? We have to expose this, I say. Tell the authorities, Jenna laughs bitterly. The authorities know. They're funding it. We need proof, documents, recordings, something undeniable. And we need to go public, where they can't silence us. As dawn breaks, we reach a small town. We're exhausted, filthy, and we have no money. We need help. Jenna spots a church with its doors unlocked. We slip inside. A priest finds us sleeping in a back pew. Father Thomas, he introduces himself. He sees our terror, our desperation. Are you in trouble? He asks gently. Jenna nods. Yes. And we need your help. Father Thomas doesn't ask questions. He brings us food, water, and clean clothes from the donation box. Rest today, he says. Tonight, tell me everything. That evening, we tell Father Thomas our story. He listens without interrupting, his face growing graver. When we finish, he's quiet for a long moment. Then, I believe you. And I know someone who can help. He makes a phone call. 20 minutes later, a woman arrives. She's in her 40s, carrying a laptop bag. I'm Sarah Mitchell, investigative journalist, she says, shaking our hands. Father Thomas trusts me. Tell me everything again. On the record, we repeat our story. Sarah records it all, asking detailed questions. Where exactly is the facility? How many subjects? What kind of tests? She takes notes furiously. This is big, Sarah says. But I need more than testimonials. I need evidence. Can you describe the facility's layout? Any documents you saw? Names of people involved? Jenna pulls out the map she drew. Sarah photographs it. I remember the technician who slipped me the note. There was someone inside who seemed sympathetic, I say. Maybe there are others who'd talk, Sarah nods. Whistleblowers. If we can find staff willing to testify, along with your testimonies, we might have enough. She pauses. But you need to understand, these people are powerful. Going public puts targets on your backs. I look at Jenna. She nods. We've already decided. We're doing this, I say. People are dying in there. We have to stop them. Sarah sets us up in a safe house, a cabin 2 hours away. She contacts other journalists, lawyers, even a former FBI agent who specializes in exposing corruption. They all want to help. Over the next week, we work tirelessly. Sarah digs into Genesis Labs' financial records. The former agent, Paul Reeves, reaches out to potential whistleblowers. Jenna and I write detailed accounts of every test, every conversation we remember. Paul gets a breakthrough. A technician named Alex agrees to talk. He's been working at Genesis Labs for 6 months, and he's horrified by what he's seen. He has files, test results showing subjects who died or suffered permanent damage. He copies them onto a flash drive. Meeting Alex is risky. We arrange it at a public park. He's young, nervous, constantly looking over his shoulder. He hands Paul the drive. I can't do this anymore, he says. People deserve to know, the files are damning. Detailed records of Phase 2 experiments. Chemical formulas for the enhancement drugs. Medical reports showing organ failure, brain damage, death. 37 subjects have died in the past year alone. 37. Sarah's story is nearly ready. But we need one more thing, video evidence. Something undeniable. Paul has an idea. We need to get back inside and film the facility. Show the world those imprisoned people. Everyone thinks he's crazy. But I know he's right. Without the visual proof, they'll deny everything. The plan is insane. Jenna and I will return to Genesis Labs, wearing hidden cameras. Alex will help us get inside through a service entrance he has access to. We'll film the cells, the labs, the subjects. Then we'll get out. Every part of me screams this is suicide. But I remember Marcus's terrified face. Jenna's warning. The 37 dead subjects. If we don't do this, more people will die. We prepare for 3 days. Paul trains us to use the tiny cameras hidden in buttons on our clothes. Sarah arranges backup. If we're not out in 2 hours, she'll leak everything we have so far and contact every news outlet. The night arrives too quickly. Alex meets us 2 miles from the facility. He's shaking. Last chance to back out, he says. We don't. He drives us to the service entrance. Inside, the facility feels different now that I know I'm leaving. Alex guides us through corridors he has access to. We film everything, the cells with locked subjects, the labs with disturbing equipment, the rooms where Phase 2 experiments happen. In one room, we find Marcus. He's strapped to a table, unconscious, Yves in his arms. His body is covered in bruises. I fight back tears as Jenna films. We can't help him now, but we'll save him by exposing this place. We're almost done. Almost out. Then we hear footsteps approaching fast. Dr. Halstead rounds the corner with 4 guards. She sees us and freezes, then her expression hardens. Subjects 247 and 189. I should have known you'd be trouble. Her eyes flick to Alex. And you. Traitor. The guards move toward us. Jenna and I back up. Alex steps between us and them. Let them go, he says, voice steadier than I expected. It's over. The world's going to know what happens here. Dr. Halstead laughs. You really think you can stop this? Genesis Labs has unlimited resources. We'll bury you, discredit you, make you disappear. Again, but she doesn't know about Sarah. About the files already copied. About the story ready to publish. We just need to buy time. I press the panic button hidden in my pocket, a signal to Sarah that we're in trouble. She'll release everything now. No waiting. The guards grab us, and I don't resist. I just smile at Dr. Halstead. Too late. It's already out there. Her face pales. She yanks out her phone, making frantic calls. The guards hesitate, unsure what to do. In the confusion, Alex makes a break for it. Run. He yells to us. Jenna and I twist free and sprint. Behind us, chaos erupts. We don't look back. We just run for the exit. Praying Sarah's already hit send, we burst out of the facility into flashing lights. Police cars. News vans. Cameras everywhere. Sarah kept her word. When we triggered the panic button, she released everything and called everyone. Genesis Labs is surrounded. Dr. Halstead and the guards freeze in the doorway, trapped by sudden exposure. Officers swarm past us, entering the building. I hear someone shout, "We need medical teams." Multiple people need immediate help. Sarah rushes over, pulling us into a hug. You did it, she breathes. It's everywhere. Every news station, every website. They can't hide this. Police want our statements. We talk for hours, explaining everything. They evacuate the facility, finding 43 subjects still alive. Marcus is among them, being loaded into an ambulance. He sees me and manages a weak smile. By dawn, the story has exploded. Secret facility exposed, illegal human experiments headlines scream. Government officials deny involvement, but Sarah's documents prove otherwise. Calls for investigations echo from Congress. Jenna and I are taken to a hospital for evaluation. We're malnourished, exhausted, but alive. In the waiting room, we watch news coverage. Dr. Halstead is arrested on camera. Genesis Labs CEO issues a statement claiming ignorance. Nobody believes him. Alex is safe too. His testimony is crucial. He's being hailed as a hero, the whistleblower who risked everything. He visits us at the hospital. Thank you, he says simply. For having the courage to do this. Recovery is slow. Physically, we heal quickly. But mentally, the scars run deep. I have nightmares about being locked in that white room, unable to escape. Jenna wakes up screaming sometimes. We're placed in witness protection temporarily. The government's investigation reveals Genesis Labs wasn't alone. 3 other facilities operated similarly, all funded by our web of shell companies and corrupt officials. They're all shut down now. Hundreds of victims are found. The trials begin. Dr. Halstead faces charges of kidnapping, assault, and involuntary manslaughter. Her defense claims she was following orders, doing groundbreaking research. The jury doesn't buy it. She's sentenced to 30 years. Other executives and government officials face charges too. Some flee the country. Others take plea deals. The scandal rocks Washington. Congressional hearings drag on for months. Sarah wins a Pulitzer for her reporting. She shares credit with us, saying we're the real heroes. But I don't feel heroic. I feel lucky to be alive. Marcus visits us once he's released from the hospital. He's thinner, haunted, but grateful. You saved my life, he tells me. I shake my head. We saved each other. We stay in touch, forming a support group for Genesis Labs survivors. Months pass. The news cycle moves on. But we don't forget. We can't. This experience changed us forever. A year after our escape, I'm invited to speak at a conference about human rights. I'm terrified. Public speaking was never my strength. But I owe it to those who didn't survive to tell their stories. The auditorium is packed. I stand at the podium, looking at hundreds of faces. I think about Dad, about his journalism, about seeking truth. I think about Jenna's whispered warning, run before morning. I think about the 37 who died. My name is Emily Carter, I begin. A year ago, I was kidnapped and imprisoned in a secret facility. I tell our story, not just the escape, but the fear, the tests, the people we lost. The audience is silent. When I finish, they stand and applaud. It's overwhelming. After my speech, people approach me. Some are journalists. Others are families of Genesis Labs victims, thanking me for exposing the truth. One woman introduces herself as Marcus's mother. My son is alive because of you, she says, tears in her eyes. I hug her tightly. These moments make everything worthwhile. Jenna gives a speech too. She's stronger than me, more confident. She talks about the need for stricter oversight of research facilities, for protecting vulnerable people. She's become an advocate, fighting to prevent this from happening again. Together, we've found purpose in our pain. The legal settlements come through. Genesis Labs' parent company is forced to pay millions to victims. It's not enough, no amount of money can give back what was taken. But it helps. I used part of my settlement to finish college. I study journalism, like Dad did. I want to continue exposing injustice, shining light on dark places. It's what he would have wanted. Jenna starts a non-profit organization called Second Morning, named after her warning to me. It helps survivors of unethical medical experiments, providing therapy, legal assistance, and advocacy. She asks me to join the board. I accept immediately. We're rebuilding our lives, but we carry Genesis Labs with us. Sometimes I'll see a white coat and panic. Or I'll wake up unsure where I am, thinking I'm back in that cell. Therapy helps, but the trauma doesn't fully fade. Alex checks in regularly. He left the science field entirely, unable to trust it anymore. He's teaching high school now, trying to inspire kids to question authority and stand up for what's right. The subjects we freed are scattered now, trying to move forward. Some stay in touch. Others want to forget and disappear into normal lives. I understand both approaches. As for me, I'm finding balance, honoring the past while building a future. It's not easy, but I'm learning it's possible. 2 years after Genesis Labs closed, I receive an envelope with no return address. Inside is a letter from an anonymous sender. It describes another facility, operating in a different state, conducting similar experiments. My blood runs cold. I show the letter to Jenna and Sarah. We have to investigate, I say. Sarah's already pulling up her laptop. I'll start digging. Jenna nods grimly. We knew there'd be copycats. Genesis Labs is gone, but its shadow remains. Powerful people learn from its mistakes. They're better at hiding now. But we're better at exposing them. We spend months gathering evidence. This facility is more secretive, harder to penetrate. But we have experience now, contacts, resources. Paul helps us navigate the legal complexities. Alex provides insight into how these operations work. Eventually, we gather enough to act. This time, We go straight to federal authorities we trust, officials who weren't compromised by Genesis Labs corruption. We present our evidence. They raid the facility, 15 people are rescued. It's not as many as Genesis Labs, but 15 lives saved is 15 victories. The facility's operators are arrested. Another scandal erupts, though smaller than before. Afterward, Jenna and I sit in her office, exhausted but satisfied. How many more are out there? She asks. I don't have an answer. Maybe dozens. Maybe more. But now we know what to look for. And we won't stop searching. Life settles into a new normal. I graduate with my journalism degree. My first major article is published in a national magazine, an expose on unregulated private research facilities. It generates significant attention and calls for reform. I think about Dad constantly. I visit his grave, telling him about my work. I'm following in your footsteps, I say. Asking questions, seeking truth. Just like you taught me. The wind rustles through the trees, and I imagine it's his approval. Jenna's non-profit grows. She hires staff, opens a second office. Survivors from around the country reach out, looking for help. She provides it tirelessly. Sometimes I worry she's working too hard, burning herself out, but she insists, this is my purpose. These people need us. Marcus is thriving now. He returned to construction work, but he also volunteers with Second Morning, sharing his story with new survivors. He's engaged to a woman he met at a support group. They're planning a small wedding. Jenna and I are invited. The nightmares come less frequently now. I'm learning to live with what happened, to integrate it into who I am without letting it define me. I'm not just a survivor. I'm Emily Carter, daughter, journalist, advocate, friend. The scars remain, but they're proof of strength, not weakness. I escaped. I survived. I fought back. And I won. Today, I'm speaking at a university. Students fill the lecture hall, eager to hear about investigative journalism and ethics in research. I've given this talk before, but it never gets easier. Sharing my story means reliving trauma. But it also means preventing future victims. I explain how Genesis Labs started, with good intentions, perhaps, before greed and ambition corrupted it. I describe the warning signs we missed as a society. I emphasize the importance of oversight, transparency, and accountability. During the Q&A, a student asks, do you regret investigating your father's death? If you hadn't, you might never have been taken. It's a fair question. I pause, considering. I don't regret it. I finally answer, yes, I suffered, but my investigation, combined with being taken, led to exposing Genesis Labs. We saved lives. If I had to choose again, knowing what I know now, I'd make the same choice. After the talk, students approach me. Some want advice on journalism careers. Others thank me for my courage. One young woman whispers, you inspired me to report my professor. He was doing something wrong. I encourage her strength. Walking across campus afterward, I feel Dad's presence. He'd be proud. I'm carrying his legacy forward, fighting for truth and justice. The whisper that saved me, run before morning, became the catalyst for saving others. I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm living. And I'm making sure Genesis Labs victims didn't suffer in vain. Their stories are told. Their justice is served, and I'll keep fighting, for as long as it takes, to make sure no one else hears a whisper in the dark telling them to run.